Lou Elizondo's lawyer downplays disclosure hopes. Todd McMurtry here. He was also Nicholas Sandman's lawyer, by the way, if you guys remember that. Let me see. He was the kid with the drum. Fuck, let me find it. I'm gonna have to find it, dude. Fuck it. You guys remember this? Shit. This kid. Look how I butchered Nicholas Sandman. But this guy, let's see if there's a video of it. This guy, remember this? I want the video, though. No video? Damn it. Well, he apparently was this kid's lawyer back in the day. Remember, everyone, this Native American dude was beating his drum in front of this kid with the MAG hat. Everyone was freaking out, crashing out. And then it turned out the Native American dude started the whole thing, and the kid was just standing there. I think he got them a bunch of money, if I'm not mistaken. And then he became Lou's lawyer. And, I don't have anything personally against, Todd McMurtry. I think even Ivan Hanel, I think these dudes are just Lou's lawyers and honestly kind of milking him for money. But this is kind of interesting to see. And he might not even be Lou's lawyer anymore. And I kind of feel like he might not be after a statement like this. Why say this? Nothing will ever happen. No one will ever see it. This is about UFOs. It was under a comment about a new giant UFO thing from Burleson, which I'll probably cover tomorrow. Nothing will ever happen. No one will ever see it. No one from News Nation will go there with a camera crew and record it. No aliens will ever step forward to say hello. Spending any energy thinking about the possibility of aliens revealing themselves or the government engaging in disclosure is a total waste of time. Kind of interesting, right? Kind of a turn. Imagine being Lou's lawyer and then saying, I feel like he can't be Lou's lawyer anymore, right? Neurostream says, Lou seems to go through a lot of lawyers. Novabrand says he's rich now. Base P Lovecraft says, gotta add the Lou's lawyer to the metrics. Heather says, I forgot about Lou for a minute. Yeah, it's nice, right? I wish Lou well. I hope Bombshells as well. But again, kind of odd from Lou's lawyer. Let's go through some of the greatest hits over the years of why this is so odd from Lou's lawyer. And again, no hard feelings, but facts are facts.
So I briefly had
He did kind of low-key, lightly threaten to sue me the other, what was this? A year ago, just about a year ago. He commented on one of my posts about Stephen Greer. Republication of defamatory statement, huh? ... Let's see.
Quick chat with Don Jr. at a meeting, and he had been taken in by a known counterintelligence person named Lou Elizondo, who is someone working to intercept these whistleblowers and then turn.
You seem to be a big fan of his. It's what I hear.
No, Elizondo is a paid disinformation person. And
how convinced are you of that?
100%. I have an email from the top guy at the CIA who was there when Ronald Reagan wanted to know about this when he was running for governor, who was a very young postdoc, and he immediately wrote and said this is what he's doing. Now, recently, Mr. Elizondo has started saying more correct information. Initially, he said all of these.
So again, all I did was literally quote Dr. Stephen Greer. I had a quick chat with Don Jr., who had been taken in by a known counterintelligence person named Lou Elizondo, who is someone working to intercept these whistleblowers. Elizondo is a paid disinformation. Why not threaten to sue Greer? Why threaten to sue little old me? I think at this point, too, I only have 10,000 followers on X or something like that. What the actual fuck? All right, let's go to this one, too.
As a response.
This from back in the day. Here's from 2022 when Todd McMurtry threatened to sue John Greenwald of the Blackvault. We won't play the whole thing, but we'll just play a little bit of it.
To the avalanche of dialogue that started after my last video. That dialogue was in part good, but also in part bad. But I wanted to speak to all of you to give you an update and hopefully maybe even answer a question or two that you have had since I posted my breakdown of Luis Elizondo's IG complaint. As that video was playing for the first time, I was spending the day with my son at the arcade. I never like missing my YouTube premieres. That way I can spend a lot of time with you guys. But time with my son means more than anything. So
family
I left
first,
my office
always.
And checked in a few times when I could just to say hi. But while at the arcade, I got a text message on my cell phone from a friend. I was told Mr. Elizondo was retweeting a lawyer, and that lawyer was seemingly warning me directly about my video and defaming Mr. Elizondo. Let me read his exact words. Surely hope you don't defame Lou Elizondo. It is well documented that he was the director of AATIP, and any participation in a plan to cast doubt on that #truth is a knowing effort to defame and so
the irony here is Lou didn't even put this shit in his book, if I'm not mistaken. And also, by the way, multiple of Lou's own colleagues said this shit isn't true, like Jay Stratton's wife, Eric Davis, a bunch of people. So like Lou isn't even like out here like trying to fight about this shit anymore. But in 2022, his lawyer was like threatening to sue John Greenwald, pillar of the community, Boy Scout, you know, never involved in any bullshit. You know what I mean? Just FOIA's documents. Weird. Okay, no hard feelings, Todd. I feel like you got your money's worth on that one. So get your money, bro. But it's a big turn from this to like, fuck it, it's all fake and gay. We're never gonna get disclosure.
This information. It's legally actionable. Mr. Elizondo retweeted that not once, but twice. Mr. Elizondo stated first, "It's nice working with professionals. Thank you, Todd." And then a second tweet 14 minutes later.
God, Lou is so fucking... He's a fucking idiot sometimes. He's just so funny. Like, thanks, Todd. Great working with you, bro. Like, okay. All right, Lou. Okay, cool. You guys are teaming up against Greenwald here.
Was the director of AATIP. It has been well documented, and I've been the subject of a campaign of defamatory disinformation by multiple parties. Again, my thanks to Todd McMurtry. Now, one thing to note, my video was still premiering, and what that means is it was playing for the first time. Checking the timestamp, it appears my video was only about 37 minutes into playing of the admittedly long 3-hour total runtime.
You know what he's saying here? The video hadn't even premiered yet, and he's already threatening to sue him over this shit. Can you believe that? Can you believe this shit? Oh, Heather says, will you be doing the Arthur Preston next? Dun, dun, dun. You know we will. You know we will.
In other words, it seemed coordinated. This all seemed strategic, and it seemed planned. All of which is fine and not an indicator of wrongdoing on the part of the attorney or Mr. Elizondo. But they had no idea what I was even saying. The video wasn't even done yet. Their rebuttals about Mr. Elizondo running AATIP pretty much had nothing to do with my video dissecting the claims that he made in his IG complaint. But they floated the D word anyway numerous times, worked in the word disinformation as well, and then Mr. Elizondo retweeted it to his 93,000 plus followers twice, which resulted in quite the firestorm. Now, let me say I can take the heat and insults from that crowd thrown at me in tweet form. I've done it for a long time, so there's no problem there. But that wasn't the part that bothered me about this entire situation. In my view, I did not defame anyone. And to float those words is not only telling, but incredibly damaging to the entire investigative process for someone like me and for people like all of us. We are all on an individual journey, our own, each of us, to discover the truth, whatever that may be.
So pause, look at this shit. Lou's own colleagues say he didn't even run AATIP. Here's Jay Strand. Lou never worked for the AATIP nickname, AATIP action name. He was also not in a support role to the DA program manager, Jim Lukatsky. Jay Strand did provide support to Lukatsky while doing that. You know what I mean? So like Lou's own lawyer says that. I mean, Lou's own colleague says that. Here's Michelle Strand, wife of Jay Strand, saying, nope, I can stream it, but I might have missed some points. Nope, not the director of AATIP because AATIP was not a real program. So, like, even threatening to sue them over that. And let me see this, too. I think I have it here. Fuck it. We're doing it live. So, Eric Davis is saying that shit. Mind you, at the same time, Lou's saying Eric Davis can't lie. Fuck it.
Absolute gospel. When he tells you something, it is absolute gospel truth.
Talking about Eric Davis here.
Eric Davis know why, because he's got this interesting little personality quirk about him where it's almost impossible for him to lie. He is hyper smart. He's almost savant. In fact, if you were to ask him to lie, he wouldn't, because there's no purpose in it. He's a bit like a human Cray computer, a mainframe. He's brilliant. And
so all this accolades, and he even says Lou never worked for AATIP. Here's another one. Lou didn't run any AATIP follow-up on that AATIP. Did they threaten to sue him? And honestly, you guys know what? It honestly even feels bad highlighting this shit at this point now. Because when I first started doing it and I started getting harassed and shit about all the hate group shit, like Lou was like the guy, but now he's like not. And it kind of just feels, I feel sad for Lou these days. I really do. So yeah, point being, like, why the fuck are you threatening to sue Blackvault back in 2022? Lou,
my path took me to vet the claims of a former taxpayer-paid government employee who made claims about a taxpayer-funded program or effort, whatever he wants to now call it. In his complaint, he utilized my work and, in my view, altered it to make accusations against other taxpayer-paid employees within the Pentagon and the Department of Defense. Albeit my work was a very small part of his IG complaint, it was still a very big claim to make. And in my personal opinion, the story was altered. If it was not, I think that we should ask for more evidence. Am I not allowed to question any of that? What country do I live in if I can't question all those claims, not only made in the complaint, but others made in tweets and podcasts by Mr. Elizondo? What country do I live in where it is wrong to use verifiable evidence, vetting the claims of someone I once paid for through my taxpayer dollars to even have a job? What country do I live in where my efforts to bring as much verifiable evidence to the table, along with properly labeling and expressing my opinion, is legal threat-worthy, veiled or otherwise, to be thrown at me on Twitter in tweet form? The tweets from an attorney and Mr. Elizondo posted online riled up a digital mob before my video was even done playing. The result was a digital lynching by a small but noisy group of Mr. Elizondo's biggest supporters.
Hate group here.
Anyone that has a following and has followers should be careful when posting such legal jargon and veiled accusations. The result is much more damaging than one might think. But sadly, I'm starting to think that was the intent.
Ooh.
Although Mr. Elizondo's attorney has every right to tweet at me, and Mr. Elizondo has every right to do the same.
Nice speaking with professionals, Todd. Mind you, again, like I said, Eric Davis is saying that shit ain't true either, bro. And you're saying he can't lie.
It is absolute gospel truth. And for those who know Eric Davis know why, because he's got this interesting little personality quirk about him where it's almost
okay. Anyways, like I said, it honestly feels like punching down now when you talk about Elizondo's fucking bullshit. Let's see.
Now what they're doing is very interesting.
Here's with Arthur Preston. Again, last point, and I don't even dislike, Todd McGurtry. I really try not to even dislike, and I don't even really like dislike Lou per se, even though he's like literally to be clear, his fan club is like kind of made murder plots about me, not even kidding. But okay, here's when a year ago when Todd McGurtry wrote this like crazy psycho letter to my friend Arthur Preston here for this thread he made about Master that on Lou Elizondo, post all your evidence of his deception and their connection to Rhino DNC operatives. The response to this was wild, and I should probably do a video just about this at some point. Now that I'm doing these kind of streams, but it was hilarious.
Because I think I mentioned this last week where they have Elizondo going after these different and sometimes very small Twitter accounts who are calling him out and saying, aha, that's defamation. And here's this weirdo lawyer who's going to do.
Oh, beautiful. Did I do this? Oh, I did this in the past. Beautiful. We could go.
I think I mentioned this last week.
I already did this. Although this is back when I didn't have my right editing thing, so it's kind of poppy. I apologize for that, but I did edit this at the time. So this is the letter from Todd McGurtry. On Thursday, January 23rd, 2025, you posted a thread on X titled Master Thread on Lou Elizondo. Post all your evidence of his deception and or connection to Rhino DNC operatives. Ostensibly, the goal of your thread is to disqualify Mr. Elizondo from government service by suggesting that he is opposed to President Trump and a friend of the Democratic Party. Your goal of discrediting Mr. Elizondo was such that he might not be appointed by President Trump. Illustrates your bad faith motivations and support to the allegations that you have acted with actual malice. See Arimo versus Rolling Stone. So he's like, this is back, if you guys remember, this is a year ago. This is back when Lou was trying to become UAP czar, one of the new Trump admin. And actually, it's kind of interesting if you go back to.
Briefly.
This is right around the same time too, and it's about Don Jr. So it seems like he was like Lou was really trying to become the UAP czar under Trump, and like trying to use some lawfare to like. Make sure to suppress any narrative. So he didn't like this clip about Greer saying that, I told Don Jr. all about him. Isn't that interesting that this is when the lawyer pops up? And then the lawyer pops up again.
Now what they're doing is very interesting.
With this thread about this, and he's referencing the Trump thing. It's interesting. But yeah, let's continue along.
And here's this weirdo lawyer.
Here's another. Moreover, this statement is defamatory and it alleges that Mr. Elizondo engages in deception. As a person who holds a high security clearance and has operated in the sensitive areas of the U.S. government, it is defamatory for you to allege that he has engaged in a deception, as it attacks his reputation for truthfulness and honesty. Your statement is critical of his work and maintenance of his security clearances. And again, like Lou, okay, so if he's not deceptive, he's a liar, right? I mean, I'm sorry. If he's not a liar, he's not smart. How many people has he how many times has he shown fake photos, bro? Like, come on, like he's showing fake photos.
Who's going to do something about it? Well, it's not defamation. He's a public figure. He's lied in public multiple times. And if anyone needs that information, I'm happy to provide it with them.
Shout out Dark Journalist.
How about when he said a chandelier was...
another one real quick, too. Later in your thread, you make the exact same allegation that Mr. Elizondo is a traitor by defaming him by implication. In the photograph that you posted, you state Lou Elizondo with traitor James Clapper. So people aren't allowed to even think that... You're not allowed to think James Clapper's a traitor. Didn't James Clapper lie to Congress? Didn't we play that the other day? Let me see this shit. Let me see. James Clapper, NSA. Remember when he lied to Congress about the NSA? Where the fuck is this thing? Damn it. I knew I should have posted it when I saw it. Okay, here we go. Yes.
And he was asked, last summer, the NSA director was at a conference, and he was asked a question about the NSA surveillance of Americans. He replied, and I quote here, "The story that we have millions or hundreds of millions of dossiers on people is completely false." The reason I'm asking the question is, having served on the committee now for
exactly,
a dozen years,
wittingly.
I don't really know what a dossier is in this context. So what I wanted to see is...
Remember when Lou Elizondo's fans sent dossiers of me and Tupa's families to literally suicidal people in hopes that they violently attack us?
If you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
Oh yeah, I remember this shit.
It does not.
No.
Not wittingly. There are
Scratching
cases
in my-
where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
Not wittingly, sir. Don't look at me in the eyes, sir. So again, this is back a year ago when Lou's lawyer and Lou were super activated. You're not allowed to even think James Clapper is a traitor, yo. Or else you're gonna get sued, my brother.
A multifaceted mothership, and that the crew of the group that had taken the picture had talked with them, and he had debriefed them.
Real photo. Let me tell you a little bit about this, and then we're going to open this up for some discussion. We were having pilots, military pilots and civilian pilots in Eastern Europe and in the Middle East report what unimaginably seemed impossible. They described it as literally the mothership, looking like the mothership from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Now, if any of you ever seen that,
When it turned out to be the reflection of a picture.
By the way, not only that, not only was he like saving this to like lie to his like biggest fans, right? Like it's kind of fucked up. He also was trying to build companies with people, and he told people he talked to the pilots of this fucking photo, bro. Again, like I already said, it honestly feels like punching down when you highlight this shit. But when we started, when me and Tupa and others started, it was not. But yeah.
And was completely debunked and came from some Facebook group. All right. So that's the kind of intel that
Here's
this
another one
guy's.
from the letter. Next, you engage in defamation by showing a photograph of Mr. Elizondo with Robert Mueller, whom you call a traitor. The defamatory implication is that Mr. Elizondo is also a traitor. The implication of your statement is that there are undisclosed facts that would show that both Mr. Elizondo and Mr. Mueller are traitors. Now, again, remember what this is all about. This is about the Trump. This is when he was trying to become Trump's UAP czar. Look at how triggered he is. That Arthur here, good old Arthur, is highlighting that Lou is friends with Mueller. Remember the whole Mueller Russiagate thing? Yeah. Do you guys understand why this is crash out was happening a year ago?
Putting out there. It's really low level intel, and they think they can get away with it. And but I do think it's dangerous that one of the things that they've adopted is to take some of the rhetoric from this show and put it in the mouth of Elizondo. So I'm
Here's the next one. Next, quoting yourself, you write to a statement by Mr. Elizondo about President Trump confirms my suspicions he is a deceptive deep state agent. This is false factual statement. Also seems other defamatory facts that you have not disclosed. Your suspicions must have been based on something, and to confirm them with Mr. Elizondo's social media posts suggest that there are more to your opinion than simply the post. This leaves the reader to suspect that there are other critical facts that you're aware of that would suggest that Mr. Elizondo is a deep state agent. So you're not even allowed to think that the motherfucker at the head of UFO disclosure, who keeps on presenting fake UFO photos and videos everywhere, is a deep state and lose freaking Cuban dictator mind, bro. Crazy.
I'm looking into the best way to call this information out. I think that fundamentally, which
oh, this is when it gets actually fucked up. Actually, fuck Todd. I try to like you, but sometimes you do fucking shit like this. Instead, you are a private citizen running amok on social media. You have made yourself a target defendant through your false statements, harassment, and ignorance. So now he's harassing Lou because he thinks Mueller's a traitor? What? People like you cannot afford attorneys. Let me read that back. People like you cannot afford attorneys. This means litigation would be financially devastating to you. I raise this only to show you that you are out of your depth and playing with fire. So all those book sales that you bought for Lou Elizondo, it's for him to do shit like this. By the way, Arthur, I think, has like 200 followers on X Max. To be like, oh, I'm going to outspend you in the legal system. Yeah, good luck, Lou. Really good luck. And let's not forget this, too. This is before the letter went out. Another attention-seeking troll. I always ask them if losing their house is worth it. I guess for Art, it would be his scooter. So I guess I've known Art for years. I didn't know he drove a fucking scooter. Here we got Lou's lawyer back in the day threatening him like, why are you on retainer with Lou Elizondo? Ivan Handel, is your client working on a lawsuit against me? Todd Murtry says, I just find it funny how people search for clicks by defaming someone. This is not going to do anything for you. You will never be famous, and this thread will be forgotten by your 1,000 followers in 90 minutes. All that work, and only Handel and I saw it. You're the last people you want to see it. We are the last people you want to see it. You are not insured. You are not a journalist. You don't have the traditional First Amendment protection a journalist has. You are exposed. You are a mushroom farmer. Were I you, I would delete the post. Again, I've known Arthur for years. I didn't know he was a fucking mushroom farmer, bro. I didn't know he was a mushroom farmer. I'm reporting you to X for sharing personal information on me, which I never posted on this platform, you weird creep. Todd Murtry, it's on LinkedIn. Arthur, you dummy. It doesn't matter if it's on a different platform. Regardless, you're a weird creep, and you could go fuck yourself. I dare you to try to take my scooter. Your client would look like a petty asshole, and the community would turn against him even more. Todd Murtry says, angry much? My point is that you are no influencer. You have bitten off more than you can chew. I was trying to do you a favor. Your conduct is likely not covered by insurance. You can't afford a defense. And also, please note, you defame me on your thread. You accuse me of illegal conduct. Who was the dummy? So again, this idea of like, you're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your scooter. You can't afford a defense. This is Lou. This is when people are like, oh, why don't you like Lou Elizondo? Because he does shit like this, bro. He's a piece of shit who gets money off a fucking fake book and uses it to punch down to people like Arthur. And he has fucking psycho fans, bro. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Oh, we got a super chat here. Thank you, Yvonne. Glad I finally caught it live. $5. Yes, we are monetized over here again, you know. So if anyone wants to go ahead and throw some coin this way, by all means do. Wow, damn. I forgot. I try and like everyone. I really do. And this just re-pissed me the fuck off again. I forgot that he was fucking coming from my boy Arthur like that, bro. And honestly, I feel like he was kind of doing this to show a message to me because he knew Arthur was my friend. And he knew that if he did this shit to me, like, I'd blow the fuck up about it. Although we did blow up about this too. But yeah. A lot of the other shows, though, didn't really cover this shit. Kind of a story, isn't it? Lou's lawyer, the guy is kind of a story, no? No, everyone ignored it.
You're looking at is a counterintelligence hijacking of the congressional inquiries, counterintelligence hijacking of entertainment forums and all the rest of it by this CIA UFO file.
Last one. Your braggadocious statements on social media accomplish nothing, solicit no interest, and generate no additional views. You and your 2,000 followers are not heard beyond a few likes and retweets. Your efforts to bolster your follower base, likes and retweets at the expense of Mr. Elizondo's reputation puts you in a bad position. Is gaining 10 or 15 followers worth being sued for your defamatory statements? So again, just some psycho shit. And thank you, Heather, for thanking Yvonne. And yes, thank you, Yvonne. Thank you for the support. We've got lovely mods over here. We got a great little community we're building over here, right? With more of these streams. Damn. God damn. So with that being said, you know, let's go back to the tweet of the hour. So from all that to this today from Todd, nothing will ever happen. No one will ever see it. No one from News Nation will go there with a camera, crew, and record it. No aliens will ever step forward to say hello. Spending any energy thinking about the possibility of aliens revealing themselves or the government engaging in disclosure is a total waste of time. Oh, and actually, you know what? Fuck it, because I'm probably going to clip this out anyways. Let me do this too. There was one thing about Joe Rogan where, oh yeah, it was this. Fuck it. In the same letter, he says, your false and defamatory statements continue when you juxtapose comments made by Joe Rogan with your false factual statement that he is catching on to Lou Elizondo and friends. Mr. Elizondo was a welcome guest on Rogan's podcast where no mention was made that Mr. Rogan was catching on to anything. You go on to quote Joe Rogan's statement that people who say, I wish I could tell you more, are likely government disinformation agents. This is a factual statement. To allege that Mr. Elizondo is a disinformation agent is provably false and defamatory. There is no doubt that Mr. Elizondo has honorably served his country in both military and civilian capacities. And this is the clip, bro.
If I was covering up UAPs, I would have all these people go out and be whistleblowers, because the more they do it, the more it looks ridiculous, and the more everyone's like, disclosure is imminent, and it never comes.
No,
it's like Lucy
imminent. He literally uses the title of his book, bro. Like, come on. This is this is just sad, right? Like, it's actually really sad to be like, oh no, Joe Rogan loves Lou, bro. I'm gonna sue you for even thinking that Joe Rogan doesn't love Lou. How absolutely cringe is
and
that?
The football with Charlie Brown. You never get a kick.
I don't think it's.
So I was open to this. Sam was open to this, and it's Lucy in the football every goddamn week. When am I headed out to Colorado? Oh, you're going to be met by a car, and you're going to be blindfolded, and you won't know where you are. Like blah blah blah. Okay. This week, next week, the week after. Oh no, if something's come up on the hill, things getting crazy. We're going to be talking to some very big people. I can't talk to you right yet. So that's been my weird life now, a part of it for like 3 years. I don't know how
For
long.
3 years, they've been telling you that they're going to release this.
Well, yeah, and it's always pushed out, right?
I was covering up UAPs.
Yeah. And then let's see. Can I pull this up? Can I work my magic? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Remember this? Remember this shit?
Enjoyed it. Really enjoyed our conversation.
Joe, this has been fantastic and truly, truly an honor and privilege. You have one hell of a responsibility. You are, look, I got to tell you, I don't ever get nervous doing an interview. You were the first one and probably the only one I will.
So like, again, it's like this, all this like weird inverted love he had, like was like weirdly inverted and taken out on my boy Arthur. And they threatened to fucking take his scooter and take his house. And it's just like, why? And then now Todd, like, is saying like nothing's ever going to come of disclosure. Like, do you think Todd, like, here, that's why my theory is Todd's just here to make the money, bro. Todd's just here to make the fucking money, bro. And get your money, Todd. Fuck it. Get your money, bro. Yeah, I'm wondering what happened behind the scenes to make Todd kind of do an about face. Nothing will ever happen. No one will ever see it. No one from News Nation will go there with the camera crew and record it. No aliens will ever step forward to say hello. Spending any energy thinking about the possibility of aliens revealing themselves or the government engaging in disclosure is a total waste of time. Put in the comments, what do you guys think happened behind the scenes for Todd to do this about face, bro? You think Lou might have pulled some like weirdo Jeremy McGowan shit on Todd and was like, I could remote view your future, brother, and like Todd just got freaked out? You think Todd might have realized that like Lou's not that great of a person, and like, you know, the stuff he did with what's his name, Sandman or whatever, I didn't really think was I thought it was good, you know, like it seems like he was like for the little guy there, but some of this other stuff is crazy, dude. Oh, okay, here he is engaging in some hate groupery. So this is one of Lou Elizondo's little minion friends about our friend Average Chris here. That guy who got banned from TikTok for grooming minors, Airtech Chris, is lying about Grush. So just an overt lie. He didn't get kicked off TikTok. They say he was doing all this psycho shit with minors. Absolutely not true. Lou says, imagine being that guy sad. Engages with him, followed that guy. It eats at your soul being in these circles. So maybe it's a little bit of that. It's not healthy to be around shit like King Milkfart and Lou's fucking fan club and the psycho shit they do. So maybe it was that, maybe not. Maybe Todd Wingerty will sue me for this one. Who knows? All right. Okay, one more story, I think. One more story. This one should be fairly quick. Okay, yes. Let me just prep it one more time. A little bit here, a little bit there. Boom. Okay, ready, guys? Last story.